This may be hard to believe with this plummy British accent, but I spent the first 8 years of my life in Tenafly, New Jersey. Much like yourself, a New Jersey boy. What does it mean for a New Jersey boy to score a film about Bruce Springsteen?
For me, it felt like fate or destiny. I was born and raised in New Jersey. I lived there for 24 years. It really was a dream come true, like a thrill of my career to be able to score this film.
Yeah, I can imagine. Warren Zanes released this book in 2023, and you covered a couple of songs, including State Trooper, for the launch of that book. Did that lead into this opportunity? Is that how you got in touch with Scott Cooper? Can you tell us the story?
Yeah, it definitely helped me getting on Scott Cooper, the director's radar. Warren remembered that I had done that with my band, the Lumineers, a few years ago in Nashville, Tennessee. It was for this PBS. And yeah, I had expressed a great deal of interest in scoring this film. I had written some demos. And I think for me, I thought a lot about how I wanted to sort of attack the score. I think I thought more about what I wanted not to do versus then what I wanted to do. And I think I wanted to sort of stay away from an overly polished sound. I have this kind of crummy upright piano in my home in Denver. Nickname is Firewood.
Please explain the nickname. I've heard this, but tell us why it's called Firewood.
So long story short, I have a piano tuner in Denver, Colorado. His name is Michael Jackson. He's about, true story, he's about 6'5". He's originally from Los Angeles. And many years ago, I said, Michael, he was tuning my piano. And I said, what do you think of this piano? It's my favorite piano. And he stopped what he was doing and he said, partner, it's Firewood. And I think the myth was sort of born from that. Yeah. And that was sort of my first, this is the instrument for the Bruce Springsteen film. So,
I mean, it sounds like an engineer's worst nightmare, but...
Yeah, there was actually a funny story. We recorded at the power station in New York City, which was very meta for the film. It's
part of Bruce's story, right?
Did a lot of his biggest hits, and a lot of the film was actually recorded in that kind of tiny live room that is the power station.
You mentioned you wanted this to sound a certain way. Obviously, Nebraska is Bruce's, slimmed down record. It's him. It's very sparse. It was that sort of, you wanted to make sure that the score reflected that?
Yeah, I think I wanted to make sure that anyone watching the film never confused a piece of an original cue for like a B-side or something that could have been off Nebraska. So I stayed heavily away from acoustic guitar cues. I think there's one acoustic guitar cue in the whole movie, and it's performed in such a way that would never be mistaken for a Bruce Springsteen song. It's a very odd way I performed it. I did a lot of electric guitar, as you heard in those first two cues. The Firewood piano, did some strings, but nothing too big for the film. Wanted to try to keep that vulnerable sort of sparseness there. So.
And I understand that you actually put some of these tracks through a 4-track recorder, just like Bruce. I mean, Bruce made this record on a 4-track tape recorder, and you did something.
Yeah, it was a brilliant idea by my music editor Jason Reuter. He said, we have a bunch of these TAC 144 Porta Studios that Bruce recorded Nebraska on. What if we ran through some of the stems? Yeah. So I think we ran through some of the pianos and some of the glockenspiels and sort of some of those percussive instruments through the TAC 144, which kind of gave it this almost distorted, grainy quality.
Because it's quite a basic, it's something that people can just go and get, right, back then?
Yeah, it's very consumer grade, not professional at all. So.
Yeah. And what was the idea behind that? What did you want to, did you use that to sort of get a similar tone to Bruce?
Yeah, I thought it was a novel idea that you would, sort of go back to that time and use. Brian Eno sort of talks about the things that are inadequate at the time become later sought after, decades down the road, like distortion or whatever have you. And that sort of, people pay good money for that crappy Porta Studio sound these days, but at the time that was sort of like the best money could buy at the consumer grade level. So
yeah, you obviously scored this film. You scored A Long Walk, which also came out. How are you finding this side of the world compared to being in the Lumineers and recording your own solo work?
I love it. I feel like I'm in awe to be here to watch everybody perform tonight. The Splat, Volker, to know Hugh Brunt, the conductor, to play with this insanely talented orchestra. To be here, for me, it's a truly humbling moment. So, yeah, thank you.
Well, look, please give it up for Jeremiah.